So, welcome everyone to another edition of Yggdrasil Norse Art and Mythology. As usual, I'm joined here by Gunhildr Hauksdottir, here on my left. We've got Christian Mar Hauksson. There he is, right there. And approaching is Haukar Haldesson, illustrator of the deck Yggdrasil Norse Divination cards. And Gunhildr here has authored the book that goes along with the divination deck. And the question we're going to do, that's it, exactly, there she is, G. Hauksdottir.
Yeah, my name is so long, it doesn't fit on any box. Just shorten it down to the G.
G lady, the G lady.
Give it up for the G.
And the purpose of these videos is to deal with some questions that people are asking about the deck and to do with Norse mythology as well, of course. And one question, another basic question we've been asked about is, how do you use the book that goes along with the divination deck?
Yeah.
And since I'm with the author here, Gunhildr, she's the best person to ask about that. So I'll put that question to you straight away. How do you use the deck?
Yes.
And the book that goes along with the deck?
The book that goes along with the deck. So the guide, you could say.
Yeah.
So if you have the box.
I have my glasses.
Yeah, have your glasses. You have the box here. There's a little magnet here. Sorry. And then the book is on top, and the cards are there below. And the book, yeah.
It's like opening up an Apple iPhone. It's just a fancy.
I know. And the book is called Bifröst. And I don't know if you know that, but that's the reason for that is that Bifröst is the bridge between the human world, Midgard, and the gods. So the book is the bridge between us humans and the deities in the Nordic mythology. Therefore, it's called Bifröst. So how to simply put house to you, I get a lot of questions about this because, and I actually, when we reprint the book, I'm working on some some mending a little bit the table of contents, which is here on the first page of the book, the contents table. So as I said in one of the videos, in our earlier video, there are 9 deities in each of the 9 worlds. And in the table of contents, you can see there are 9 chapters, and each chapter is each world. So if you're asking the cards about how's your day gonna be or something like that, and you just want one card, let's say, and I have here Thor, and I can see that Thor is in Jötunheimar. Then I go to the table of content, I find Jötunheimar, which is on page 41. I go to page 41, and that's the beginning of Jötunheimar. First it explains the world, and then come the gods. Number 1 is, you guessed it, Thor, of course, he's the main one. So in the book, the gods are numbered. On the cards, they are not numbered. But in the book, they are numbered by importance, actually. So there is a sort of like a higher arena and a lower arena that is only present in the book. It's a fluent higher and lower arena because it's not really possible to have a higher and lower arena in the Nordic mythology because the cards are so interrelated. They rise in importance depending on other cards that are in the spread with them and so on and so forth. But then so you find, so just to keep it short, you go to the table of contents, you find the world, which in this case is Jötunheimar, number 41, you go there, and then there are only 9 gods in Jötunheimar, so you can just easily find it within Jötunheimar. That's basically how you use the book for just drawing and for just playing with the cards. And I really recommend that you play with the cards and just use them as an oracle deck or however you're comfortable with while you're getting to know the deities and the characters in the cards. because you're getting to know a whole new arena.
Yeah, okay. And how they are related to each other.
Exactly.
Sisters and brothers and friends and wow, everything.
Lovers and husbands and wives and enemies as well.
Yeah.
Which is very important as well. There's a lot of animosity.
And for the future video, when you start laying the deck out, the interrelation between the characters also plays a major role in the way that the deck rolls out.
Yes.
So
So what I recommend to do is just read the introduction when you get the cards. Read the first, let's say, 18 pages. Yeah. Read the first 18 pages really thoroughly. That's a good introduction. And then just start using, you know, I mean, you can of course read the whole book. It's not such a big book, but you just start using and start familiarizing yourself with the deities and with the cards and with the logic of the inner logic of the deck. And then when you're a little bit more familiar, you can go into the grand spread of Yggdrasil. And there are some extra layers, extra factors there. There the worlds actually start influencing the cards. In which world, for example, if Thor, who belongs in Jötunheimr, lands in Midgard, that gives him an extra layer, because Midgard is the possession of the seeker, of the person who's asking the question. And then Thor has a relationship with Midgard because he is the protector of Midgard in the mythology, I mean. So it adds to the layers.
I was just wondering, there are so many characters in Norse mythology. How did you decide on the 81 characters that are in the deck? Is it down to your illustration, what you had? I mean, are there more than 81 illustrations that you've actually done of figures from Norse mythology?
Yes, but I didn't find that suitable for the cards. But there are many deities and weights, as they are also called.
Yeah.
The nature is full of them, full of different weights.
Right.
You know about elves, and you know about trolls, you know about dwarves, you know about wow, it's endless. And so I had to restrict me a little bit. How am I going to do this thing? So I decided to make 9 deities in each world. So it's 9 times 9 is 81. So that's why they are 81. And then when I contacted Gunnhildur about this thing, she said, okay, we can do something with that. Fine.
Right.
So he was the one who decided which deities or which entities and places also. There's also places like there's Urðabrunnur.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gandalf. And yeah, so Haukur was who decided who goes in the deck. And just I would like to make a note of one thing here. We also go into folklore. There's also folklore. We're not only basing it on the Eddas.
No.
We're also basing it in word of mouth folklore and other poetry and other stories that are Þjóðsögur Jóns how do you say Þjóðsögur? Jóns Árnasonar.
Yeah. Folklore
of Jón Árnason, and even the Grimm brothers, Northern European and Germanic and Scandinavian
and
mythologies also are intermixed.
So it's a real crossover of stories, sagas, myths.
Yeah, but it's based in the Eddas mostly.
Yeah.
It is first and foremost. Yggdrasil is from the Eddas, and these worlds.
And I find interesting also just being Icelandic and realizing and appreciating more and more the language that I have as I live in Norway, and Norwegians have lost kind of their connection to the language. I feel a lot. It's the connection to the language itself. So, for example, you have Skadi here, and for anybody that knows Skadi and what that means in Icelandic, we can definitely tell you a little bit about that. We even know who this character is. So
Yeah.
there's a connection to the actual language itself, which is actually quite interesting to me, and seeing how that plays out from a linguistic point of view also.
Let Tommy say something about Skadi.
Yeah, Skadi is a very interesting person. You know, we call Norway and Sweden Scandinavia.
Yeah.
That comes from her. It is her. She is. It's the same thing about Germany. It is a goddess, Germania,
Yeah.
Britannia, and so forth and so on. Sweden is Svea. It's always goddesses.
Ireland also, Irie, or yeah.
Hibernia. Hibernia is the name.
Yeah,
She's a woman.
everything is connected there. And
Yeah.
even the Danish people, they haven't the slightest idea why Denmark is called Denmark. So I told them there's no. It's a simple question, because there was a goddess called Dana. She came from the Black Sea to Denmark, and when she came here to the west coast of Denmark, she went to the shore. She had a lot of people with her in many ships. This is the story. It's the true story. And she said when she put her foot on the shore, "This is my mark, Danemark."
Wow. There's I didn't know that about Denmark or Skadi. So
Scandinavia.
Cormac, the old stories, they are full of things like that.
Yeah.
Full of it. I haven't had time to, of course, to look into France or to Spain or to Italy or to these countries and Poland and Russia. Full of it.
Yeah, and Lithuania and Latvia also have a paganism.
Oh boy, yeah.
Beautiful, but they have.
It's fascinating how it fits all together.
Yeah, and it's yeah, yes.
Did
we go over time or?
Well, we should wrap up, I think,
Yeah.
at this stage. But it just to echo your point there, Hauker, the cards once again contain an awful lot of stories, information, and lots of interesting things in there.
A lot of it.
Yeah, there's an awful lot there. Okay, I say let's leave it there for this edition of the show.
Yeah.
It's goodbye from me.
Yeah.
Goodbye from me.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.